Hey guys, I hope you're doing well today. Welcome to Storytime Sunday. This story is called Love Online. Um, okay, it starts with this woman with a disability. Um, Her name is Lisa, and Lisa um, is a member of um, your vid. Your vid is kind of like YouTube, where they have different videos and everyone can post a video. And Lisa has a disability. She has CP. And what happens is she becomes a member of your vid just to um, post her videos, because in her family she never really got the chance to speak up, and she has a lot to say. But because her speech is a little muddled, people just kind of placate her and really just really just don't give her a chance to speak up. So she joins UVid and starts posting videos. Starts posting her inspirational videos. And one day she's going through her feed, and because Lisa likes music, um, in her feed, UVid brings up a music person. His name is Ray, and Ray is a construction worker. He's always been a construction worker, but he's had this voice to sing, but he's always been like a tough guy, and he's always felt like singing was kind of a hobby. He never took it seriously. Um, and he's been a Christian all his life. So has Lisa. So Ray was driving down the road, coming home from work, and he was in a tragic accident where he almost died. And what happened was, when so he got better. Um, they they said that he would never walk again, and like there's no amount of physiotherapy that could be done. There's nothing that can be done. But his mother prayed and prayed and prayed, and okay, so he went home. He got better, except his leg. And then, because there was nothing they could do for his leg, he went home. So, when he went home, his church was praying and praying for him, and it still didn't work. But Ray's mother really insisted that he would be healed. They went to specialists. They did all kinds of stuff. And what happened was, um, they were about to give up, like that he was going to be a quadriplegic, and he wasn't going to be able to walk again or move his legs, going to be paralyzed from the neck down. And they said, okay, we'll just deal with this. So they kind of got the house all set for him to come. So he's home, and there's one day where his mom is in a prayer meeting, and with a couple of her friends. She has a Wednesday night prayer meeting, and so she prays for him and prays for him, and when she prays for him, he miraculously gets up and starts walking. And they can't believe this because this is like a miraculous healing. The doctors cannot believe what's going on. So this healing was miraculous. So he put this healing online, what happened to him, the fact that he was in an accident and was a paraplegic, and then his mother prayed for him, and then with the people from her prayer group, and he was miraculously healed. His story, and he recorded a video, a UVid, not UVid, I think it's called, I think I called it UVid. He recorded a UVid, and he sang a song, and along with singing a song, he told his story of how the Lord had healed him. Anyway, this video went on. Okay, so he posted this video, and Lisa saw his video and was so inspired by his story of healing and of restoration, and so inspired by the music that she messaged him, and she just said, "Hey, my name is Lisa. I'm really inspired by your story," and blah blah blah. Anyway, she wrote him this long message. She sent him a private message, and not really thinking that he would answer her, because at this time his story of healing and his music had gone viral, and she figured that he wouldn't answer her because he would be too busy. Anyway, he got her message and he answered her, and she opened her UVid, and she opened her your vid, and oh my gosh, he answered her. So she answered back, And when she answered back, they started talking. They started sharing their lives with each other, and he found out. She found out that he was a construction worker, and he was a musician, and they started to talk about the Lord. Um, but when they started to talk, it was like a really they really start they started with the general um, talking, like where you're from and how long have you been known the Lord, how long have you been singing, but until like but it got deeper. Each message got deeper, and each message um, um, they got more in depth. The conversation got more in depth. And when um, they were talking, and then when they were talking, they both could feel the Spirit of the Lord on the relationship. It was like with every message, they got closer and closer and closer. And she thought that, oh Lord, I really need to stop messaging this guy. And he asked about her disability. She asked about his music, and they really connected. And um, in his life, um, Ray had a girlfriend. Ray was a Christian, but him and this girl, his girlfriend, um, were like really having problems because he was a serious Christian and his girlfriend was not. And he thought that he couldn't do any better. But talking to Lisa, seeing what she had been through and talking about the Bible with her, and he began to really connect with her. And when he began to really connect with her, he began to really think about this other relationship. And he was afraid to tell Lisa that he was involved with this other person because he was afraid that also they weren't involved like that.
Call from Ethan Daily. Call from Ethan Daily. Call from Ethan Daily. Call from Ethan Daily. Call from Ethan Daily.
Although they weren't involved like that, that she would not be friends with him anymore. So because of that, he didn't tell her what was going on. And to make things worse, um, him and this other person, because they'd known each other for Mom, I can't talk right now.
Hello?
I can't talk right now.
Yeah, but you talk tonight. What do you mean you can't talk? What, the
That
attendants are there?
I can't.
They're there.
I'll call you later.
Okay, I'll call you
Yeah.
Okay, all right, bye.
Sorry, guys. That's my mom. So he was afraid to tell her about this other person because he didn't want to lose her friendship, and plus he didn't know how to say it because um, he was having feel Ray was having feelings for Lisa, and he didn't want to let her go, but he was also um, attached to this other person because what happened, him and Wendy, this other person, uh, had been friends for a long time. And they had gone out, they had been friends, and at that time, he wasn't a serious Christian. Um, and then unfortunately, he lost his virginity to Wendy. And even when he became a Christian, he was still struggling with Wendy, still struggling with sleeping with her. And he knew it was wrong every time he did it. But something in him said, you know what? Um, I can't let this go. Um, so, but at the same time, he was falling in love with Lisa. Lisa was falling in love with him. And something told Lisa that with all their online conversations, with everything going on, something was wrong. So she asked him about it. She said, is there anything going on? Is there anything wrong? I sense that something is wrong. Something with your messages lately is not adding up. What's going on? And he bites the bullet and tells her, actually, I have a girlfriend and we've been intimate. So when Lisa hears that, and this guy's supposed to be a Christian and whatever, she's really hurt. So what happens is she says, you know what? Um, we can't communicate anymore because you lied to me. You're not a really good person. You're not a real Christian. And what I can't be with anyone who lies to me. I can't be friends with anyone who lies to me. And so she cuts off communication. And the next day, Ray feels really bad. And the next day, while he's on the website, he sees there's a message, and he is praying that it's from Lisa, but it's from a producer that has heard his story and heard his voice and heard his wonderful singing voice. And the producer wants to produce a song with him. And then he ends up producing a song with this producer, this gospel producer. And it ends up going around the world. It's really just a wonderful song that encourages people. And his story is just so amazing that um, it's just been going around the world, but yet still, he is still locked in this thing with Wendy. He is still, with all his success as a Christian artist, he is still locked in this thing with Wendy. And although he shouldn't be, he keeps on going back to her. And every time he tries to break away, she's like, "Come here, baby." She kind of sucks him back in. She knows what buttons to push. She's like, "I know how to make you feel good. All those girls don't know how to make you feel good. And you don't want," she's like, "You don't want to be celibate now. We've already gone there. We've been sleeping together for years. You don't want to be celibate now." And so he's embroiled in this relationship with this woman. And meanwhile, Lisa is still mad because although she didn't tell him, she was falling in love with him. She thought he was a wonderful Christian man with a heart for Christ and a heart for God, and he turned out to be a liar. But in spite of that, the Lord tells her to pray for him, and she prays for him every night. Every time she prays for Ray. And then meanwhile, he's still in this relationship with this other woman. And this song is going to #1 on the Christian chart. She's getting really popular, stopped everywhere, and everything like that. And the girl Wendy says one night after a show, they sleep together, and the girl Wendy takes a picture of him and her when he falls asleep. The girl Wendy takes a picture of him and her sleeping together. Lying in the bed together naked. And she posts it on her on her UVid, and she says, "Look, that's your famous Christian artist. He's been my boyfriend for years. We've been sleeping together. He's a fraud." And so Wendy kind of outs him. And when he wakes up, everyone knows, it's all over social media. And everyone's calling him a liar, a fraud, that he's not really of Christ. How could he lie and deceive people like that? And he's devastated that the girl that said that she was his friend, that she loved him, she betrayed him. So they have Ray and Wendy have this big fight, and he finally sees who she is and says, "You know what? I don't want a liar and a deceiver like you in my life." He's like, "You know what? I may have lied, I may have deceived, but at least I was sorry about it. And then she leaves, and she's like, you'll never find anyone who want to be with you like I will. And then she leaves. And then devastated and everything, he 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 reaches out to Lisa, although he thinks that Lisa will still be mad at him. Uh, he types a UVid message, and he's explaining to her what happened. Lisa heard what happened because it's been all over social media. Everybody knows. So when she gets the message from him, she thinks back to when they were friends. And so she, with a heart of compassion, reaches out to him and says, you know what? We all make mistakes. I forgive you. And really, they have their first video chat where they talk about everything. And she's like, you know what? You made a lot of mistakes. You really hurt me. You really betrayed me, but I forgive you because that's what the Lord wants me to do. But I don't know if we can still be friends. He's like, I understand. But through time, they slowly build trust again, and he really is honest, and he through her influence, he totally like rededicates himself to the Lord. He was a Christian before, but he really just says, Father, forgive me, and through her love and support, he becomes stronger in the Lord. And this time around, though, they're honest with each other. They start falling in love with each other again, as a new and improved couple. And what happens is that he says thank you for being there for me, even though I wasn't nice to you and whatever. They fall in love, and a year after that they get married, and they tell their story to everyone. She tells her story how she never felt good enough, and he tells his story of how when he accepted Christ, he was still embroiled in sin with this girl. But it was because of her love that it caused him to see the error of his ways, and just that God used her despite her disability to strengthen him, to encourage him. And a year later, they get married and eventually have 2 children. Thank you for joining me on this Storytime Sunday. See you next week. Bye.